Excellency Simon Ekpa, Prime Minister in detention, and Mr. Ogochukwu Nakere, Acting Prime Minister. I minister the gospel of Biafra to the most powerful people in the world, to those in positions of power, especially in this great country, the United States of America. This is my second broadcast to follow up on my first broadcast, where I discussed the need of Biafrans to change their "I'm the king, I'm the queen" syndrome. Many Biafrans appreciated this broadcast, and even those who were angry or upset because I spoke the truth and touched a raw nerve. Not only will I continue to touch that raw nerve, but I will hit aggressively that raw nerve to the point where all Biafrans wake up. You should view these broadcasts not only as a mirror to the zoo, but also to yourselves, because we need to save Biafrans not only from the zoo, but also from themselves and their own self-destructive tendencies. So today, my broadcast will be full of fire and brimstone. I will be causing more controversy because I will be providing a psychological analysis of the Igbo or Biafran one Nigerianist, those who are completely against Biafran independence, completely against what we're doing, people who attack us on a daily basis. I've carefully studied their psychology, their heart, their soul, their mindset, and I've come to a few conclusions or observations. From what I can see so far, there are several categories of Biafrans. There are those who are part of our movement, support Biafran independence. There are the ardent Biafran one Nigerianists, and there are also those who are not opposed to what we're doing, but are on the sidelines, and this third group or last group will be discussed in a separate broadcast. It is remarkable how there can be people from the same place or live in the same place and exist in completely different realities. Why would someone be against their own liberation or self-determination? Do they not see the threat posed to them by the Fulani and the Islamic fundamentalists? What's going on? Firstly, I believe one of the underlying behaviors of the Biafrans who are attached to this one Nigerian concept is the problem of the "I'm bigger than my neighbor" syndrome. Now, what do I mean by this? In Biafra land, there is a phenomenon I've read about where wealthy Biafrans build mansions in their hometowns which they never even lived in. I've read about this. I've watched videos about this. Why is this? This is so bizarre. Why do you build a house you don't even live in the house? Because there is an obsessive need among some of our Biafran brothers and sisters to show off. I've seen this obsession with showing off in my own personal experience. To provide a personal anecdote, I was aware of one situation where a Biafran lady, whom I personally know and will not name by name, went around telling everyone about how expensive and great her shoes were, telling everyone and their mother about how expensive her shoes were, and then also about how everything she does is perfect and so on and so forth. So this is not hypothetical. I've seen this firsthand with my own eye. As such, these wealthy or successful Biafrans, they get high, they get intoxicated when showing themselves off and their wealth. They start to float to the clouds, just like those who believe they are the king or they are the queen, who misinterpret the original phrase of "there's no king or queen in Biafra land," and they start to think that they are the king and they are the queen, and they are superior and so on and so forth. So the problem is in the mindset of these people. What is the point of Biafra when I get to show off to everyone how rich I am and how superior I am? I have 2 Mercedes. My neighbors don't have anything, so what's the point of Biafra? I build a home that I don't even live in, so everyone can just see how rich I am. So why is Biafra needed? Because of this, these Biafrans are so blind, they can't see the existential danger that the Fulani and the Islamic fundamentalists pose right underneath their own nose. So let me explain the situation to you, the Biafran one Nigerianists who are listening. And I want you to listen very, very carefully to what I have to say to you. The Islamic fundamentalists have taken over the north of Nigeria. Previously, you had the Hausa Fulani people, now they're just the Fulani. The Fulani have swallowed the Hausa. These Islamic fundamentalists have moved from the north into the southwest and now are targeting the Yoruba. You have a Muslim ticket leading the country, including a vice president who played an instrumental role in the rise of Boko Haram. There has been Islamic fundamentalist capture of the Nigerian state, the Nigerian military at all levels. According to an article in the Nigerian Punch newspaper in January of 2025, again, not my opinion, this is the newspaper in Nigeria, and I quote, leaders of pan-Yoruba groups representing artisans, workers, students, community-based groups, traders, professional, and self-determination groups have jointly expressed their opposition against the move to introduce Sharia law in Yoruba land. So this is not simply a matter of terrorist groups and Fulani herders killing Biafrans or people in Nigeria, which again is an ongoing and serious issue. This is also a matter of systematic takeover of the entire country by radical Islamic fundamentalists. If the Islamic fundamentalists take over Yoruba land, obviously the next and the last target will be Biafra land. Many of the Islamic fundamentalists have openly expressed this, that when they are finished with the Yorubas, their next target and their final target will be the Biafrans. And there are those federal politicians in Nigeria who openly express their desire for the entire country to be under Sharia law, which again would include Biafra. There have been efforts, including even last year, to expand Sharia law throughout the entire country. Now, that effort last year in the national legislature in Nigeria did not succeed, but if Nigeria continues on its current trajectory, that will be the reality at some point. There will be Sharia law imposed on a federal level. Sharia will come to Biafra land. So if we've declared Biafra, but if we now do not restore Biafra, everyone in Biafra land will be under Sharia. And what I'm telling you is something that I'm very, very confident in. This is going to happen if we don't take the necessary actions. And in places in Nigeria that are already under Sharia, children are having their limbs chopped off, their limbs amputated. I read a story of a 12-year-old boy who had both of his arms cut off for allegedly stealing an item. I mean, this is barbarism at the highest levels. So when Biafra is under Sharia, you will all be subject to Sharia, regardless of how rich you are. There's no provision in Sharia law which says if you're worth more than $1 million or if you own Mercedes or what have you, that you are exempt from Sharia law. So as such, at that point, will it really matter that you own multiple Mercedes or big houses that you don't even live in if you're under such a circumstance? Many of the Biafran One Nigerianists discuss having a great Igbo land within Nigeria, or having an economically strong ala Igbo within Nigeria. Absolute nonsense, complete rubbish, garbage. First of all, it is a fallacy to think you can make Biafra into another Dubai, which is what these Biafran One Nigerians talk about. Within the constructs of a failing Nigerian state, which is quickly becoming like another Somalia. What affects the whole affects the part. In order to have this so-called economic Biafra, you also need political and geopolitical independence. This is basic logic. This is basic reason. That's the problem with you people whose brains have been broken by the zoo. You can't reason. You can't logic. That is why I'm doing these broadcasts, to help you people logic and reason in order to think more sensibly, more reasonably. And I'm hoping that with these broadcasts we could reset the brains of many of you people who just cannot think properly, whose think rubbish, who think nonsense. So furthermore, right, even if you could achieve this economic Igbo land fantasy within Nigeria, which is not possible, but even if you could achieve it, what is the point of the so-called economic Igbo land and economic Biafra land if you have no freedom? Does having a fancy hotel or these Biafran businesses or having a lot of money matter when the Islamic fundamentalist authorities in Biafra land, once Biafra is under Sharia, seize you for minor infraction and decide to cut off your hand? I'm serious about this. There is a misconception that those in the Biafra independence movement are somehow idealists or we're delusional. No, those who are part of the Biafran independence movement are the realistic ones. It's the opposite of what you think it is. It is the Biafra one Nigerianists who are unrealistic and completely delusional. Completely delusional. I watch these Biafran one Nigerians closely, and I watch all Biafrans closely with my eye. Even if I don't say anything, I watch everything and everyone closely. And so when I watch these Biafran one Nigerianists, I see you loving to take photos of yourself at the Nollywood party, or this fancy thing, that fancy thing, getting dressed up in Biafran attire, showing off yourselves, floating here, floating there. You people need a reality check. You guys need to, to use an American phrase, wake up and smell the coffee. Because this is ridiculous. You need to wake up from your superficial self-obsession and realize you are in danger, as much danger as all other Biafrans, and join the Biafran independence movement and what we are doing. That's the first point. Secondly, the second reason why some of these Biafran one Nigerians are not supporting what we're doing, frankly, selfishness. They think consciously or even subconsciously, not realizing what they're thinking, because they have not been personally affected by what is going on, that they are somehow immune from all of this and don't have to be part of the Biafran cause. Let me share with you two personal stories or anecdotes. One of our Biafran sisters who's part of the struggle, who I will not mention by name, had tried to convince a Biafran friend of hers to join the Biafran independence movement. Her friend was always dismissive, always negative. Then one day, her friend's family member was killed, cut to pieces, by Fulani herders in Biafra land. And after this murder, she changed her mind and asked to get involved in the Biafran struggle. I have a second story. Another member of the Biafran struggle had a highly educated doctor that she went to. She showed this doctor an article about killings of Biafrans in his own village by these Fulani herders. And his response, shockingly, was that he didn't care because his relatives were not killed. What I want to say to those who don't care is that even if you have not been directly affected, even if your relatives have not been killed, at some point they will be in danger. So you should support the Biafran independence movement. You don't have to learn the hard way after one of your relatives gets murdered by one of the terrorists or the Fulani herders or so forth to join what we're doing. Be sensible. You don't have to learn the hard way. And I just want to end by saying I'm not speaking harshly to be critical, but to help you save you from yourselves. I want the Biafran one Nigerianists who are listening to this podcast to carefully consider what I'm saying for your own benefit and salvation. And also, I want everyone else to listen to what I'm saying, to reflect on it in their own self-reflections. So I will be continuing upon the topics that have been highlighted in these first two episodes, and I look forward to speaking to you in my third episode, which will build upon the existing themes that I've talked about. Thank you, and have a nice day.
All right, wonderful people. Welcome back to this wonderful channel where we'll bring you back-to-back update and information as the hot. In case you have not joined our social media handle. What are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you'll be the first to collect it. Let's go down to the news proper as it hot. Of course, as it dey be for the Obodo, it's another Monday where they always be sit at home for the land of the indigenous people of Biafra. I say wherever you dey, make you dey safe. If your house too far to come out, make you kukuma dey your house. Because some people say that voom na im better pass statement. All right, as e dey be, one Nigerian man like that, Lieutenant Umade, is to face 20 years in prison in the United States after pledging guilty for wire fraud. This man, his name is Lieutenant Umade, who lived in Germany, but as it is, he was apprehended in Germany and extradited to the United States of America because of a offense wey he commit wey they call wire fraud. In case some of you no understand wetin this wire fraud mean, this kind of offense wey they call wire fraud, na the people wey be say they collect money from other people, or they use their account, they collect money for people wey be say na then they dupe other people. For our common language wey be say we know for this side, they call them 419 people. Na him be the man wey be the account for the 419 people. Make we go down for that information, make you see as the matter take happen. And as it be, they say the boy don't collect $158,400 United States dollars. $158,400 United States dollars. And as it be, the government of America, their Interpol, track him, go Germany. Now there they extradite him, carry and go back to the United States of America. Umadi was apprehended in Germany last year and extradited to US, where he confessed to using a business email compromise to defraud Sri Lankan organization of $158,400. Last week, the U.S. Attorney's Office disclosed that the Nigerian admitted soliciting and purchasing a web page from a computer hacker that allowed him to illegally access people's email address. Umadi used those passwords to gain access to email accounts belonging to employees of a produce exporter in Sri Lanka, the statement read. The 35-year-old further sent phony emails to dupe his victim into redirecting payment to his bank account in the United Kingdom. As a result of the fraudulent emails from Umade, on 2 occasions in 2016, a produce importer in Plattsburgh, New York, wired money totaling $158,400 to those bank accounts in the United Kingdom, the U.S. Attorney Office said. Umade was arrested by German authorities on September 1, 2024, when he arrived in Germany from Nigeria and was extradited to U.S. His sentencing has been slated for July 21, 2025, where he faces a maximum term of 20 years in prison, a fine of up to $250,000, and a term of supervised release of up to 3 years. He also faces deportation from the U.S. after service of his prison term. All right, this is happening live to Umade. What I see Igbo ke were kenenu obi nwayo maka na nya bụ ebe onye solu na onye jegelukwu ya. Still reminding you again that today is Monday, and it's usually sit at home in the land of the indigenous people of Biafra to avoid Inglamarakwara, to avoid Hadaino. Kindly stay home in your house so that you no go see wetin no dey pursue you. As it be, clean of hunters in Edo State, Okpeholo suspend security chief illegal vigilance group. It don't show, and I know say it go be like this. Make I read you this information before I go come back tell you why I know say all the security outfit where the government they bring out now in Anambra State. The one that is currently running is what is called Udogachi. Udogachi has become the order of the day in Anambra. Before it was Ebubago. and now it is Udogachi. And this Udogachi comprises different security wings in each villages, and all the security wings in the village has registered under this Udogachi operation Udogachi in Anambra State, and they have also employed also other security other people into their security forces. And of course, these people are not properly trained to do the work they have been employed to do. The training of a police officer and that of army man is quite different, and that of a security man is also different. If you have been watching closely, you will agree with me that um, army, the soldiers are more disciplined than the police. If you come in contact with soldiers, you find out that the matter tends to be solved very easily. They know how to look at, when they look at you, they already know whether you committed the offense or not. And if you do not commit the offense, they will allow you to go. But if you have encounter with police, sometimes they know that you committed the offense, but due to they want to extort you and get some money from you, they continue pressurizing you, interrogating and investigating. All right, now in Edo State Governor Monday Okpegolo yesterday suspended the commander of the security corps, Friday Ibadan, a retired commissioner of police. He also ordered the suspension of illegal vigilante groups following the review of the preliminary report on the killing of 16 traveling hunters at Uromi, the headquarters of Isan Northeast Local Government Area. The Secretary to Government, Umar Ikilo, a lawyer, said in a statement that lawlessness would not be permitted under the guise of maintaining security. The killings, which sparked uproar in the state, was condemned by the Chief of Defense Staff, Jem Christopher Musa, the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, and the Oluwo of Iwo, Oba Abdulrasheed Akambi Telu. Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf said a delegation from the state would be in Edo today to assess the situation. All right, the matter happening in Edo State is that the security outfit that was organized, the same way Soludo is organizing Udogachi, ended up sending about 14 hunters to judgment. These 14 hunters were buried. Of course, you know that when we were small, it is a tradition to see aged people or some young people with all this single barrel and double barrel going for hunting. Nobody disturbs them. Even when security or police sees them in their group, they already know that these people are hunters because most times they are not hidden. But as it is, in Edo State, about 14 of them have been pied because of misinformation and because of untrained security personnel. This thing, there might be a repetition of this thing in Anambra State and other states that have, organized a security outfit by themselves instead of making sure that the police people are being paid well and they are being dispatched to various areas of the community. The best way to solve the issue of insecurity that is currently ravaging most states in Nigeria is to pay the police well, pay the army well. At least a corporal in the police is supposed to be receiving 100,000 and above. That is how it's supposed to be. So that when these people see this money, they will become happy and do their work properly. And they will not be a channel to insecurity. Because most of them, due to underpayment, most of them are channels of insecurity. Most of these security personnel you are seeing, the army, the police, and the rest of them, they are channels of insecurity. Some of them, let me not say most, some of them, because they are being underpaid and because of the pressure of the economy, whereby things are not as it is supposed to be. Things are very costly in the nation. Imagine a police officer that is earning 40 or 50,000 as a salary. Tell me, how do you think that that man is going to survive? It is survival of the fittest, and it has happened it has happened that in Edo State, that this untrained security outfit have ended up buying about 14 hunters who were going about their business of hunting, because these people were not properly trained to know who is who. The only thing they know is that once they see anybody with gun, they start shooting, as if they see the proper terrorists, they will be able to combat with them. All right, this is where I'll be winding down the curtain. And if this is your first time of joining us, kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you for listening. God bless you.